Welcome to September and the brand new home of the Aquinas Fighting Irish.
Great crowds, a lot of energy. The kids love it. Everybody loves it. You know, we're very, very excited.
Opened just last month, tonight it will host two schools separated by only 14 miles, but meeting for the first time since 1977. Hephzibah, Aquinas.
The off week last week, you know, it's kind of hard as a coach because you're kind of sitting there, you know, fidgeting and want to fix those things that you, miscues that you might have had, you know, the previous week. So just actually getting back on the field and facing somebody in an opposite colored jersey, that's the biggest thing about this Friday.
First game for us playing AAA football. You know, our first two games were non-region, so this is brand new to us. You know, we're a very small school and we're excited to see what it's like.
A Richmond County Rumble opens the region schedule on Game Night Live.
Welcome to Game Night Live. WJBF Sports presents local high school football live in your living room each Friday night. Game Night Live is powered by McDonald's. I'm loving it. And now, your hosts, John Hart and Ashley Brown.
And good evening, everybody, as we welcome you into our third installment of Game Night Live for 2024. We are on Highland Avenue at the brand new sports complex at Aquinas. The facilities look great. We got a matchup of two teams that like to do different things, Nathan.
Absolutely. We got the Hephzibah team that loves to run the football, whether it be their great running back or from the quarterback position. And Aquinas is averaging giving up 270 yards, and they've got a couple of their best defensive players out, which we'll talk about in a little bit later. But Aquinas, it loves to throw the ball. They got one of the best wide receiver quarterback combinations with Franklin and Rhodes.
All right, let's go down to the field for the coin toss.
All right, I'm Mr. Huff and Mr. Murray. We're your officials. Who's calling the toss for me? You are? Flipping this coin, GHSA, that's the heads, okay? The football is the tails. So the GHSA logo is heads, the football is tails, okay? What's your call? It's called a heads. Looking for the logo. That is a tails. So you win the toss. You want to defer, right? Okay. Aquinas wins the toss and defers to the second half. You want the ball? Which way you gonna kick it, or which goal you want to defend?
We want to kick it, Grant.
Kick it that way. All right, White's turning, looking this way. All right, the first half, White will receive on this end. All right, guys, let's have a good ball game.
All right, Hephzibah won the coin toss. They defer to the second half, so they will Aquinas will get the football to start things off for Game Night Live. I'm Ashley Brown along with Nathan Edwards. John Hart is on assignment. Actually, he's getting an award tonight, and we are happy about that for him, and also happy he's not here tonight. We're going to have – no, I'm just kidding. All right, let's get to the keys to the game tonight. Let's start with the visitors from Hephzibah. One of the keys tonight kind of changes. It was double-team Jaden Worth, but Jaden Worth, we double team him, don't let him disrupt things. He led the state in sacks last year as a freshman, but Jaden Worth not playing tonight. We'll get to that in just a moment, an injury there. And then dominate up front, play keep away. Don't let Aquinas' offense on the field. That's a real key. For Aquinas, put everybody in the box. Great sophomore running back for Hephzibah, Riante Bird. Make the Rebels throw the ball, and then give Jim Franklin, Aquinas' big quarterback who's committed to Davidson, give him time to throw. That is a big, big key for Aquinas tonight if the Irish want to improve to 2-1. Both teams coming in tonight with a record of 1-1 on the campaign. Both had an off week last week, Nathan, so they should be ready to roll tonight.
Absolutely. We got a good matchup of coaches as well. We got Daniel Dorsey, the coach of Hephzibah. He's 22-20 in his fifth season. He's got a couple of playoff appearances, and then we got Coach James Leonard, who's nearing his 100th win. All
right, let's take a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll be ready for kickoff. Game Night Live at Aquinas. And we are back at this beautiful new facility here at Aquinas where the Irish are set to take on the Hephzibah Rebels. I was incorrect. Hephzibah will get the football first to start the game. Nathan, you mentioned briefly before in the last segment, we've got two great coaches tonight. James Leonard nearing career win number 100.
Absolutely. He's got a 73% win percentage. That's incredible in 12 seasons.
And I tell you, Daniel Dorsey has done a great job here at Hephzibah as well as the Rebels take it out over the 30-yard line. One of the keys to the game we mentioned was try and block Jaden Worth. Last year, He's a sophomore, 6'2", 250. He is an animal in the weight room and on the field. Last year, he led the state in sacks with 14 as a 9th grader. He had 129 tackles as a defensive end, which is almost unheard of. This year, averaging 17.5 tackles a game, but he will not play tonight with a high ankle sprain suffered in their last game, and they have next week off, so they wanted to give him a little more time off to get ready for 2 weeks from now when they take on Westside. Fake handoff here by J.J. Gant. He is your quarterback, and he is a talented runner. More of a runner than a thrower, Nathan. You mentioned that Hephzibah likes to run the football.
Absolutely. They got a big offensive line. They try and run behind, and it's going to be a lot of zone read where they spread them out, but it's going to be more to run the football than to throw it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They are big up front. And there's a look at the quarterback, J.J. Gant, and his running back, Riante Bird. Bird, really talented sophomore, averaging about 190 yards per game. And there you see why. Run right up the middle. Aquinas has had a hard time stopping the run this year. They're giving up 272 yards a game on the ground in their 2 matchups so far. There's a look at Bird, Riante Bird, the talented sophomore running back. He's averaging 9.2 yards a carry in that run. Certainly did not hurt that average, as they've got it across midfield already.
And he's replacing a pretty good running back in the last couple of years.
Yeah, they've had some good ones, but you're right, the last couple of years. Matter of fact, he's playing in the MAC conference. Running back from a year ago. Well, we got a second. Let's tell you who our officiating crew is tonight. The referee is Chip Huffman. He is one of the head officials in the referees in the entire area, entire state. J.C. Murray is the umpire. The linesman is Elliot Bing. Line judge is Mark Turner. The field judge is Chase Huffman, and the side judge is Chad Huffman. The 25-second play clock operator is Kenneth Bennett, and Shakina Bennett is the clock operator.
It was Tilly, I believe, correct? Last season.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. There's a nice run to the right, just a short yardage play there. Helmet lost by one of the Hephzibah linemen there.
Got enough for the first down.
And we talked a little bit about the coaches. Here's a little more in-depth look at the 2 coaches tonight with our coaches matchup. You mentioned James Leonard, 97 wins, that 73% winning percentage. His very first year, he led Aquinas to a 14-0 season and a state title. And then on the flip side, Daniel Dorsey, 22-20 in 5 seasons. They've made the playoffs the last 2 years. He's a local guy, graduated from Westside, and he has done a good job here at Hephzibah. As they fake it to Bird, it's Gant with the football. And again, keep in mind, Aquinas playing without their best defensive player, Jaden Worth, who already as a sophomore has got a couple of D1 offers. He is going to be a major, major recruit. Once Mason Short at Evans is gone, he might become the biggest recruit in the area. He's certainly going to be one of them, along with the big North Augusta lineman, Malcolm Gaston, who already has offers from Georgia and also from Florida State.
Yeah, it's been a little bit unfortunate. The area has been kind of hit hard on the defensive side of the ball. A lot of the best players in the area defensively have kind of been hurt to begin the season.
Harrison Fitzgerald, number 14 for Aquinas, they just showed him in the secondary, and talented player that came over from Augusta Christian this year as a senior. Got a younger brother. He might not be the best athlete in his family, though, because his sister, Sydney Fitzgerald, is a gymnast at the University of Georgia and is super talented as well.
Great play there by the linebacker filling the hole.
Yeah, good play. That forces a 3rd and 8, ball at the 37. Hephzibah on their first drive. They're doing what they wanted to do, though. They've got to run clock. You don't want Jim Franklin having the football with Jack Rhodes. Rhodes, the wide receiver and the backup quarterback, actually. But last year as a sophomore, Rhodes had over 1,000 yards and 16 touchdown catches as a 10th grader. This time it's a different running back getting it. Nowhere to go around the outside. Great job by the Aquinas defense, led by the freshman. We're going to talk about this kid a lot over the next few years, Eli Hutchinson. He's averaging 11 tackles a game. Here he is, number 1, beating a tackle. Man, he came flying in. That's him right there, number 1, Eli Hutchinson. He also will run the ball, just a 9th grader. And Aquinas was hit hard by transfers as Oh, they got 5 wideouts here on this 4th and 7 play. Let's hold it here before I get to the.
That's going to help.
Yeah, that'd make it 4th and 2.
Yeah, because I was wondering what we're gonna see there, because they haven't really shown the ability to throw the ball yet, and they had a really long 4th down conversion they were trying to convert there. I almost wonder if they'd be better off to punt that ball and play some field position.
Well, Gant's 10 for 21 for 106 yards and a touchdown, but he has 3 interceptions in 2 games. And now they switch some of the personnel because it's 4th and 2, so more apt to run the football here. Again, Riante Byrd averaging 9.2 yards a carry in his 2 contests this year. 376 yards in 2 games on 41 carries.
Yep. Packing everybody in here. Looks like a direct snap to the running back.
And he's going to get the first down and still on his feet. Good job of keeping those feet churning. Aquinas trying to gang tackle. You saw about 5 or 6, and down at the bottom of the pile was Fitzgerald making the tackle. But first down for the Rebels here as they're on the move. Our Hawk Law Group first down. And in just a moment, we'll hear from the 3rd person on the broadcast team down on the sidelines. Debut tonight for Mike O'Neill. We'll get to him in a moment. And Byrd taking the direct snap again. Byrd up the middle, and he's going to pick up good yardage. He just keeps those legs churning. And he's going to get all the way down near the 20-yard line. One of his big linemen is going to help him up there. They've got a few big guys, and he lost his helmet, so he's going to have to come out for a play.
Good-looking opening drive from Hephzibah. Almost
very good.
Half of the first quarter almost gone already.
Very good-looking opening drive. I said that Aquinas was hurt by a couple of kids who transferred out. 2 of their top defensive players, Buddy Rowe-Guerrero, who's a D1 player, transferred to Evans, and another player, Makai Quiller, who was a freshman starter in the secondary last year, transferred to Fox Creek. Both are having great seasons so far for the other teams, but, boy, Aquinas hurt by that for sure as Gant throws it out into the flats, and it is complete. Down inside the 15, down to about the 10-yard line. So they are in the in-motion red zone.
Yeah.
And the pass was complete to Christopher Kahn, a 10th grader. Hephzibah on the move here, and they've eaten up almost half the first quarter with this drive.
I mean, that's really all you need, if just the ability to make them play the entire width of the field to throw that screen out there.
A lot of you who are – oh, and here's Gant up the middle. Gant into the end zone. Touchdown. It's a 10-yard run for J.J. Gant. That is his 5th rushing touchdown of the season, and we're just in game 3. So Hephzibah strikes first against Aquinas. Nothing fancy. They just handed the ball off, a mixture of direct snaps, runs, and hand off, and they're able to get the touchdown on that 10-yard run from Gant. So now on to add the extra point, or at least attempt to, is number 89. That is Martin Gamino. And Gamino's kick is no good. So Aquinas down 6-0 after the Hephzibah touchdown on the opening drive.
Yep, 11 plays, 69 yards.
All right, let's take a timeout. We will come back with more. We will get a chance to see maybe the top passer in the area, Jim Franklin, when we come back. All right, we are back at beautiful new facilities here at Aquinas, and we'll, I'm sure, talk more about that as the night goes on. But right now, the Irish find themselves down 6-0 to Hephzibah as the Rebels, Camino's going to kick it off here. And the ball, a short kick, but bobbled, picked up at about the 18, and a decent return to get it out across the 30. And that is where Aquinas will start shot. But right now, let's go down to the field with the 3rd member of our broadcast team tonight, Mike O'Neill.
Nate, AB, thank you so much. And we're here at this new, beautiful field. And one of my favorite storylines from this game is the biggest fan for Aquinas. It's Coach Leonard's son. And he is having the time of his life out here. He has his own locker room, his own home and away jerseys. And he's loving it. He's a part of the team. The kids love him. The players love him, the coaches love him. He's that energy that they need.
All right, thanks a lot, Mike. We appreciate it. And by the way, you might recognize him, and in just a moment we'll let you know where you know Mike from. Right now, let's see what Aquinas does on 1st and 10 with Jim Franklin at quarterback. He's going to run it, He breaks a tackle around the outside across the 35 and across the 40. So a nice pickup. It's a first down. But let's show you who Mike O'Neill is. Those of you that recognize that face, there he is. Mike O'Neill was a terrific player back in the day, a member of the Upper State Championship Midland Valley team in 2015, all CSRA performer in 2017, played his college ball at Savannah State, and we're happy to have him as part of the team tonight. He's been doing some great work on Football Friday night as well with WJBF, so thanks to Mike for being with us tonight, while Taylor is down with John Hart accepting awards at WJBF, winning a bunch of awards. That's a good thing. They didn't invite us to that, Nathan. They just said no need for us to show up. So
no awards for us.
All right, Aquinas has it across midfield, or right at midfield on that run, a short run there. It was, I believe, Christian Cates, the ball carrier. Cates is the leading rusher, a junior. They're really high on him. Yeah, he was talking about Coach Leonard's son, Mike O'Neill was, and yeah, he loves it. Every post on social media, he's wearing either a helmet or a jersey, and he's at practice or whatever. He absolutely loves being around the Irish. He doesn't care about playing in the NFL or college. He wants to play for Aquinas. And they hand it off again to Kate. Check that number. I think it was Kate's again. No, that was actually a different ball carrier. That's the freshman, Eli Hutchinson.
With the Leonard family, he may be the next future coach.
You never know, man. The Leonard family, synonymous with Aquinas football, of course. Yeah, of course. James Leonard played here for Aquinas, was an offensive lineman, and was a long-time assistant here, and then got a chance in 2013 to take the reins as the head coach and led them to a 14-0 season and a state championship. You should have retired then, right?
I'm pretty sure if Coach Leonard scraped his leg or something, he probably bleeds green, right?
I would think so, yeah. So there's Jim Franklin, the talented quarterback. 31 touchdown passes a year ago as he pitches it to Cates, who gets a nice gain.
Big hit.
Franklin is committed to Davidson. He's a great student as well. He's been a 3-year starter here. And, again, like I said, 31 touchdown passes a season ago for him. There's a look at Christian Cates, the junior running back. Yeah, there's a lot of names we recognize. Joseph Lambert, his brother's played here. His dad's a big supporter of Aquinas football. His family is. Kirsten Brinson, Cam Brinson, who played here and played at Furman. On the roster tonight. We'll be talking about them as the game goes on. And let's see. Leonard's going to fake it, and he's going to look to throw. Now he steps up into the pocket. Now he's going to run. No, he's going to throw it. He ran up to the line of scrimmage and hits Cates inside the 10. And let's see, did he cross the line of scrimmage?
It was very close. I think he did. It
was really, really close to whether or not he crossed the line of scrimmage before he threw the football. And there's Chip Huppin to tell us about it.
Ineligible downfield, and we have an illegal forward pass.
No,
here.
Both. Two penalties there. Now they had players open after the play action. Well, let's see. You see the line of scrimmage, and way past it.
Yep. Should decline the man downfield and take the illegal forward pass because it's a loss of down.
Bigger penalty for sure. We're in the early going here. Game Night Live. Ashley Brown, Nathan Edwards, Mike O'Neill, and the entire WJBF crew on an absolutely beautiful night for football. This is just the second game in this brand new stadium here of this part of this new facility, baseball field, football field here at Aquinas.
Yeah, I think the baseball team can't wait to get out there in the new facility as well.
One thing I'll give Aquinas credit, I said this to you before the game, I absolutely love this. You can see the players across the line there, the Hephzibah guys. Most of the schools do the turf on the field, but the sidelines are not fully turfed. They've got another type of surface, and sometimes it's slippery. It's not great. Aquinas went the extra mile. They've got turf all around the out of bounds as well. I love that they did that. Makes it just look so much better. Hands off here to Cates. Cates going to take it and step out of bounds at about the 30. Aquinas. It is going to be a first down for Aquinas.
You can definitely tell in the design, AB, that they've built this that they can do enhancements if they need to down the road. Definitely could put in a video board. They've already got the school board built that they could just pop the board in. Definitely could expand sideline and stands if they need to. They've built it to expand.
I'm so turned around where we're sitting and what we're facing. the stadium used to be the other way, so I'm sort of turned around here. But
yeah, we're sitting in the 50-yard line, facing the goal line.
So they give it to the ball carrier up the middle. Going to be a short pickup, about 2. See who the carrier was that time. It was not Cates. Oh, actually, it was Cates. I thought they gave it to somebody else that time. And there's a good look at the gorgeous night we have for football here and the beautiful stadium. They are so proud of this, and they should be. A lot of hard work, a lot of donations and investment into this facility. Franklin going to hand it off. This time they go to the right side, and it's another nice head of steam and a good run by Christian Cates. So both these teams have decided they're going to run the football tonight. Cates takes it down to about the 22, 23-yard line. He's going to be short of the first down, though. So it's going to set up 3rd and about 1. See what they choose to do here. Got an experienced quarterback in Franklin. You could even take a shot here if you wanted to. See what they do. They're just going to run it, and they're going to get the first down easy, and they are into the in-motion red zone down to the 18-yard line.
The way this game is setting up early, possessions are going to be a premium tonight.
Yeah, no doubt.
You're not going to get many of them.
Well, while I have a moment, let me tell you about McDonald's. McDonald's, did you know that they can help you pay for your college? That's right. Through their Archways to Opportunity program, you can get funds for college and even earn a free degree through some universities. Learn more at archwaystoopportunity.com or apply at your local McDonald's restaurant. McDonald's, I'm loving it. As Cates takes it to about the 16-yard line. They're going to mark him down at about the 17. Cates has been the workhorse tonight for Aquinas. And
he's got 7 carries already on this drive.
Yeah, there you see Cates get to the outside, but a good job coming up out of the secondary. I believe that was number 1 for Hephzibah, Dextavian Reese, who is a sophomore. He's their leading receiver. And you saw the speed there as he came up and closed out that play. A little option. Franklin decides to keep it. He's a big body, tough to bring down, and he's going to be spun around and thrown down at about the 12. So he's going to pick up 5. It'll be 3rd and 4 as we're winding down here and might not get another playoff before the end of the quarter. It's been entertaining as both teams have had long, sustained drives. Right now, though, the Rebels lead it 6-0, but Aquinas is on the move. The Irish trail 6-0 here on Game Night Live. We'll be back with more exciting action after a timeout. And there's a good look at the faithful supporters of the Aquinas Fighting Irish here is the student section. They always have a good crowd of students coming out to support their team.
So the white out tonight.
Yep, and we're back here. It's 3rd down and 5. The ball is at the 12. Franklin's going to roll out, going to take it himself down near the 5. Oh, and he's thrown down. The helmet comes off. That might be the hit of the game. You don't have to worry about this guy's toughness because last year, one of the best highlights of the year, WJBF got a great shot as you see the replay here. He's running the ball. He gets tackled out of bounds, similar to this play. Wow, that's sophomore Reese slamming him down. He gets up, and one of his fingers is pointing in the opposite direction of where it should be. His dad is the team physician on the sidelines, pops it back in place. He goes in on the next play, throws a touchdown. So I'm not going to question his toughness.
Yeah, it's not Jack who comes in at quarterback.
Yeah, they got Jack, of course. Rhodes is a great quarterback. He played really, really well as a freshman when Franklin got hurt, but last year he moved to receiver, and at quarterback instead they brought in number 12. That's Turner Stevenson. He's a freshman. And
yeah, Let's see if we can sneak in the QBs by the quarter.
Let's do it.
Right now while they're on the goal line. So Franklin had 14 yards rushing in that first quarter, has not completed a pass yet, had that one pass callback for penalty. Grant from Hephzibah was 1 of 1 for 11 yards passing and had 25 yards rushing in that rushing touchdown on the first drive.
That was the big one as Franklin comes back in to lead the offense.
Yep.
That is where we
Friends
sit.
at Ace.
That's right. Culpeper Lumber, Ace Hardware, QBs by the quarter. And there is a timeout on the field. So a timeout for Aquinas. A moment for us to remind you that you can cast your votes for the WJBF Player of the Week in this week's poll at WJBF.com. The poll will remain open, so you have a chance to vote all the way up until 11 o'clock tonight, and then it will be revealed on Football Friday night at 11:35. So tune in. You don't want to miss this week's Player of the Week. And there were some great nominees, some good performances last week on Friday night. Let's see what Aquinas can do here on second down and goal to go at the 4.
Yeah, while we're waiting to see what they're going to do here, we got a lot of great games in the area tonight.
Good matchups. Rivalry games. Lakeside and Evans, I know, is one. Bamberg Earhart playing Barnwell. That's always a big one. So Jim Franklin directing the offense, moving one of his linemen over. Let's see what he decides to do here. Got a man in motion. He knows his offense inside out. Again, as a 3-year starter, and he's going to fake the handoff and roll out. Now he's going to run with it. Franklin going to lower his shoulder, and he's into the end zone. It's a touchdown. Both quarterbacks getting into the end zone here in the early going, and Aquinas ties things up momentarily as we await the extra point. Watch Franklin at the end of this play decide he's just going to lower his shoulder. Heck, that might be the hit of the game as he lowers his shoulder and gets his way into the end zone.
I think he was looking for a little payback there after that last.
got thrown to the ground, had to come out for a play. Well, he's a big body, 6'4", about 220 pounds. Like I said, he's committed to Davidson as the extra point is up, and it is good. So Aquinas, after falling behind early, Grant Miller has knocked in the extra point, and they take a 7-6 lead at home here tonight over the Hephzibah Rebels. And we are back. Aquinas getting the touchdown run from their quarterback Jim Franklin, and the extra point good. So they lead at 7-6 here. Still in the first half, 10:40 to go. You saw there in the second quarter. And some scores from around the area to tell you about. We'll have a few more at halftime. But how about Greenbrier on top of Statesboro 14-0 as the Pack have won one game in the last over 2 years. And now they've got a chance to go 2-1 to start the season. As Hephzibah gets the return up across the 30 and the 35, and then the carrier is hit and brought down. But a nice return. As that was, we talked about him on defense a moment ago. That is, or actually caught a pass earlier, Christopher Kahn with the return. He's a 10th grader. A lot of young guys on both these teams getting valuable minutes. And one of the best of the bunch is the freshman Eli Hutchinson for Aquinas, roaming the middle of that defense at linebacker, averaging 11 tackles a game in his first 2 varsity games as a freshman. Going to be a really, really good player here at Aquinas.
Aquinas running a 3-4.
Yep. And again, they're without their star defensive end, Jaden Worth, the really talented sophomore, 6'2", 250 pounds. We saw him before the game, and we both said that does not look like a 10th grader in high school, maybe a sophomore in college. But he is a talented player, but he's got a high ankle sprain. He is out. They're also missing Joaquin Pereira. He's out of the game as well with an injury. But Aquinas on top.
So your daughter's a senior. Can you imagine him coming home and like, hey, Dad, I'm dating this guy? And you're like, whoa.
No, I will make sure. Yeah, I might not be able to do it by myself, but there'll be help there. And the short pass is caught out in the flats for Hephzibah. And pick up short yardage there. The receiver was number 87, senior Marcus Woods on the catch. J.J. Gant is the quarterback for the Rebels. Again, number 4, he is a senior, second year as the starter. Last year, of course, the star we talked about earlier, Telly Johnson, and now in the MAC conference. And they hand it off. Here's Riante Bird. Telly Johnson was a first-team All-Area on everybody's book, made the WJBF All-CSRA team. Was a great player on both sides of the ball the last couple of seasons for Hephzibah.
I was going to say, he may have been just as good a linebacker as he was a running back.
Had one of the best runs we saw all season early in the year, about this time last year against Laney, at Laney. Both these teams 1-1 on the season, and both would love to come out of here with a victory heading into both teams play Westside next. Hephzibah plays them next week, and then Aquinas has a week off and plays them the following week. Westside's playing their arch rival Richmond Academy tonight. Gant's going to keep it along the left side. Gant with some room. He breaks a tackle and gets the first down. He is up near midfield before he's brought down. So J.J. Gant with the first down run. And Hephzibah on the move again. Both these teams moving the ball on the ground for the most part.
Yeah, it was a great job there by Hephzibah. They got the unfortunate penalty on first down that set them behind the chains, and they just got 2 5-yard chunks and then picked up a big third down.
So 1st and 10 ball just short of midfield here. And it's a different back this time. And, boy, Aquinas with great pursuit. That was the freshman in their first, Eli Hutchinson. And what a nice play defensively for Aquinas up front. Logan Hayward, the junior, he's their leading tackler on defense, but he's also the backup running back. But it's a loss of a couple. And just can't stress to you what a great night we've got for football. Just a little hint of crisp in the air. A little crispy, cool weather.
Feels like October.
It does. I thought they sent Jaden Worth up here. We were just talking about him. He walks by. It's like, wait, is he coming to get me for what I know? Jaden Worth, the sophomore, is up here, of course, not playing with the ankle injury. As I said, if it were a playoff game or a region game, a big game, he probably would play. But they know they have next week off. They're going to need him desperately for region play and a potential playoff. This team, Aquinas, has been single A for as long as I've known them to be play football. They're moving to triple A this year, so a big step up in competition for Aquinas.
Yeah, Coach Leonard talked about it on your radio show, A.B. It just made sense travel-wise.
Yeah. And, hey, that single A region they were in was no joke. Washington Wilkes, Lincoln County, there were some good squads in that region, but, again, playing much bigger schools now, electing to play triple A. They have been a standout in single A as, again, Coach Franklin, the winning percentage at 73% in his tenure here.
Yeah, and they're in AAA, but when we get to the playoffs, all the private schools are going to be put together. So it's a little bit misleading. They are in AAA, but all the private schools.
But the private schools probably tougher than the public schools, the way things are going in Georgia. And they hand it off again. That's Hayward, and Hayward is going to be brought down after a short gain. And we are midway through the second quarter. Aquinas has only had the ball once. These two teams are getting long, sustained drives, and neither defense able to stop them. Nothing fancy, no big plays, no craziness, just smash-mouth football is what we've seen so far.
Yeah, that's what this was. Into the half is so important. How can you steal a possession? Can Aquinas get the ball back and maybe score and then get the kick?
In this kind of game, clock management and special teams so important. Making kicks, having punts as they come on a blitz, but Hephzibah was ready. Oh, and they dropped the football. The pass was thrown out into the flats. Great job reading the blitz by Gant, but the receiver drops the football. Couldn't hang on, trying to run before he caught it. That was Anthony Rozier.
And Gant's been efficient in the passing game tonight. Yeah. He's doing just what they need to. They're not going to ask him to throw for 300 yards. They just need him to throw for 100 and keep him honest.
Yeah, and again, it's sort of what Evans is doing this year with their quarterback. He's throwing it, and then he's letting his receivers run and get the yardage.
I think this is a show of this is 4-down territory because they're going direct snap again.
Direct snap to Riante Bird, and Bird is going to end up picking up good yardage. He's going to get the first down. So Bird on 3rd and 8 gets the first down on a nice run. I tell you, he's only a 10th grader, and I don't know. We've seen some good backs already this year and some good ones last year, including Michael Doe at North Augusta. I don't know that we've seen a back keep his legs churning like he does. A little bit like Anthony Jeffrey at Thompson, but remember when we saw Thompson, he was hurt.
Yeah, that was a really good run. He didn't just run up the back of the person in front of him. He was patient.
Yep.
He moved around, set up his blocks.
Rebels have the ball, the clock running, 1st and 10, just outside the red zone. Gant back in at quarterback. Oh, and that one's blown dead. He was going to take the direct snap and run it, but
false start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Was he going to run it there or fake run it and
throw
that pass?
I don't know. But they're going to have to do it over again from 5 yards further away, though. 1st and 15 now. Ball backed up to the 33-yard line. There's a look. There's Jaden Worth right there on the right-hand side. Again, you're telling me that guy's in 10th grade? And there's Jack Rhodes, one of the more underrated athletes in the area as well. As I said, last year as a sophomore, Rhodes had over 1,000 yards receiving and 16 receiving touchdowns. As Gant keeps the football there and picks up about 2 or 3,
I love that Coach Dorsey's got his team buying in that there's many different ways to win in football. You don't need to be flashy and throw it all over the place. You can grind it out. You can play physical football and get wins.
And this time Gant was about to hand off. He decided to keep it, and he's along the left side. He's going to pick up good yardage, and he's going to run out of bounds right about the 20-yard line. So he's going to be just short, I think, of the first down. I think he had to get to the 19.
Yeah, I think he's a yard short.
Maybe the 18. Well, folks, don't go anywhere. We're closing in on the end of the first half. The halftime show, be sure to stick around. Kimberly-Clark halftime show with Mike O'Neill. We'll hear from your hometown sponsors and take a look at some other scores from around the area, highlights from the first half, and much more. Again, the Kimberly-Clark halftime show coming your way after this second quarter. So Gant going to keep it again. This time he is hit, but he spins away, and he picks up nice yardage. It's a first down for the Rebels, and they are inside the 10 or right about the 10. Let's see where they spot that down, and Gant's slow to get up. Well, that's one thing you can't have your Hephzibah. Gant and Bird are so important to their offense. The ball's at the 11. It's first down, 1st and 10. They can get a first down without the touchdown, but it would be like at the half-yard line. So it's essentially 1st and goal.
Yeah, Hephzibah's over 110 yards rushing as a team already, and they've only had 2 drives.
Yeah, and Aquinas, again, giving up 272 a game in their first 2 outings, and that is not Coach Leonard football. James Leonard will not be happy with that. And here's a run by Bird, keeping those legs churning, diving for the end zone. He's going to be just short. We said they could get a first down without scoring, and he's going to be close to it as he dove for the – just watch him. This is just a 10th grader. Watch him keep the legs going and fight his way through tackles. 3 different guys had their hands on him, and he dove for the end zone. It's going to be 2nd down and 1. The ball is just inside the 2. Gant hands off to Bird. Bird is going to be, let's see, did he get in?
Yes.
It is in there. Touchdown. Riante Bird with his 4th touchdown of the season. And the Hephzibah Rebels, 2 drives, 2 long sustained drives, and they now lead it 12-7. And let's see if they're going to go for 2 here.
Yeah, I think we're going for 2 here.
J.J. Gant, the quarterback there, number 4, and Bird, the talented young sophomore running back on the left. Tell you what, he is a real impressive back. This is his 3rd varsity game, and he's approaching 450 yards rushing. let's see what Hephzibah does here. Bird in the backfield to the right of the quarterback, Gant. Gant's going to run behind Bird, and he's going to get in there. Looked like he might not at first, but again, patient running, waited on the hole to develop, and he's in there for the extra point, the 2-point conversion. So Hephzibah, with 3:22 to go in the first half, jumps out in front of Aquinas here on Hallett Avenue, 14-7. Well, if you're Aquinas' defense, you got to be tired. They have been on the field most of this first half. They have 3:22, the offense does, to try and match Hephzibah's two drives, 2 touchdowns. Have we ever had a half with both teams just had 2 drives?
I don't remember one.
I don't remember one either.
And thankfully for Aquinas, it's not the 95 degrees it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, for sure. So Hephzibah will kick it off here. They're up 14-7 on Aquinas. The first game broadcast for Game Night Live at the new facilities here. But right now, Hephzibah out in front and looking good running the football. And it's a low line drive kick, and it's going to go out of bounds.
I think they blew it dead before that. So they're going to push them back 5 yards. They've got a re-kick. Not enough people on either side of the ball. Is that the call? Yes, correct. Correct.
So
that may actually be an advantage because that ball was going out of bounds.
Yeah, the ball was going to go out of bounds. It was going to be good field position for Aquinas. So now Hephzibah will kick it again. The kicker for the Rebels is Martin Gamino, a senior. He missed his first extra point. So let's see if Aquinas, somebody can step up and make a play for the Irish here and try to match Hephzibah's offense in this first half. It's a low squib kick, and it gets by the return man. He picks it up at about the 15, and he's going to bring it back up near the 30, but it worked out for Hephzibah there. The penalty did. That was C.J. Wilkerson, who another young player that they're very high on here at Aquinas, number 4. So now we'll see Jim Franklin come back out. His first drive, he engineered a touchdown drive and put it in the end zone himself. He is yet to go to his top target. Really, they haven't really tried to throw it much. Only the one pass, right? That was a penalty.
Yeah, he doesn't have a pass
Yeah,
yet.
the penalty called back the one he had, so which is really surprising for Aquinas. Now they're going to throw. Franklin looking deep to Rhodes. Rhodes, and he overthrew him slightly. Rhodes seemed to slow down. I don't know if he thought that was going to be like a back shoulder throw, and Franklin went deep. They're usually so in tune and on the same page, but they were a little bit crossed up there. So the pass incomplete. One thing Hephzibah does have, though, that man right there, Reese, they've got some good athletes in the secondary. They're young, sophomores, but they are very, very athletic. So second down. Aquinas had so much success running the football. There's still plenty of time left here in the first half. 2nd and 10. And they're going to hand it off here and a run up the middle and good yardage up to about the 37. That is the freshman, Eli Hutchinson, and I'm telling you, he looks like a player. And I think, and you should never do this on the air, but I think he is the younger brother of Caleb Hutchinson, who was a great high school football player from this area who is now playing at Coastal Carolina. So the handoff again goes to, there he is, Hutchinson with a big head of steam. Great run across midfield all the way into Hephzibah territory at the 47-yard line. Tell you what, that freshman looks good. We saw him on defense And now running the football, he looks really good. Look at this run. Again, you just didn't used to see ninth graders do things like that on the varsity level. But here we are. And they've got Cates, Wilkerson, and Hutchinson who can all run the football. And let's see what they elect to do here. Ball at the 47, 1st and 10 for Aquinas. 2 minutes to go. Clock running. And Jim Franklin looking, they're going to fake the screen and go across the middle. There's Rhodes, but he's hit hard as he caught the football. So a nice play by Hephzibah. And that was their leading tackler, Logan Hayward. Hayward came into the game with 20 tackles, 10 per ball game. Read that play nicely.
Yep. Brought Rhodes on just a short drag across the middle of the field, and he was sitting there waiting for it.
So it's 2nd down and 7 after the 3-yard completion, and the clock is running.
Yep.
And they've got to go 44 yards to get into the end zone here. And the clock, after that play was over, 30 seconds ran off the clock. See what they elect to do here. Franklin going to hand it off. And here we go. There's Cates. Cates with a beautiful fake to the outside. Cates down the sidelines, and he's going to step out. Oh, he's hit. As he was about to step out, he was hit by Bird. Well, Cates will pick up good yardage, though, and stop the clock. Watch this run. Watch this cut right there. That cut right there got him to the outside, and then at the end of the play, it was actually Reese that hit him, not Bird. I thought it was Bird, but actually it was Reese. I tell you, this Reese kid is a good-looking athlete in the secondary. He's also their leading receiver. We've had 3 candidates for hit of the game already.
It's a physical football team.
We're at the 23 now are the Irish. Franklin going to fake it to Cates. Now he's looking, throws, got a man, and it's bobbled and incomplete. Might have been a good thing it was incomplete.
Yeah, threw it a little behind him there.
Time-wise, would have ran off some. Well, they wouldn't have been too bad. Would he have had the first down? He'd been close.
Yeah,
Stops the clock, though.
Got a couple of timeouts left.
Yeah, they got time. They've got a good place kicker as well. But you want a touchdown here if you're, of course, James Leonard and the Irish faithful. They've mixed it up a little bit here. I thought maybe they were going to run it all first half and then come out throwing in the second because they can throw it. Again, Franklin led the area by far last year in touchdown passes with 31. They're going to do that little same fake, and he rolls out. Franklin going to keep it himself. Franklin fakes, goes to the outside, breaks a tackle, and he's slammed down out of bounds. But the clock is going to run, and James Leonard is going to call a timeout. So Coach Leonard saw that he stayed in bounds and immediately called a timeout to stop the clock with 38 seconds left. And the ball is at the 17-yard line. So ball at the 17, and first, let's see.
Let's say it's going to be third and about 4.
3rd and 4, yeah, 3rd and 4. So what do you do here, 3rd and 4?
They've been rolling him out a good bit in this first
rolling out's
half.
good because what he did there. If he doesn't see anybody open, he can tuck it and run with it. But you'd want to roll him out wide so he can get out of bounds maybe if he doesn't score. You've got 2 plays to get 4 yards, but more importantly, you got 38 seconds to try and get points on the board. So, again, don't go anywhere after this first half is over. We've got our Kimberly Clark halftime show. Mike O'Neill handling the festivities, and we'll have some scores from around the area as well.
I've got a feeling that Mr. Rhodes is about to make his presence known.
Yeah, let's see what they decide to do with Jack Rhodes here. He's in the slot to the left and hold everything. Got I think a timeout on the field. Well, while we have a second here, we can tell you about what you need to do. How about tuning into the dish? And bear with us here, a little static in our ears, but the dish for the 411 on all things local, from food, facts, and fun. They have it all every Friday from at 12:30 with Anna Christina on WJBF News Channel 6. And we mentioned last week, congrats to her. She finished 3rd in the Mrs. America pageant recently. A very good showing for her. She's a former Miss Texas back in 2011.
Yeah.
And
have debates in the house on who's the most popular, who's the most well-known.
That's right. Yeah, her and Ryan Bowers, of course, formerly on The Bachelorette, her husband. And let's see, Franklin's going to roll. Now he's going to run. Franklin across the 15 to the 10, just short of the 10, but he gets out of bounds. He's going to have the first down, though. So he gets the first down and stops the clock, the best of both worlds for Aquinas. If you don't get a score, that's exactly what you wanted right there. So James Leonard leading the way, trying to get into the end zone for a second time and tie this thing up. Waiting on the signal from the sidelines to see what they're going to do here. Amazing that these two teams, both the offenses, have only been on the field twice. Hephzibah scored on 2 long drives. Aquinas trying to match that. And we've got 29.6 seconds left. Jack Rhodes in the slot to the top of the screen on your right. And now we got a flag on Aquinas. It's been a relatively clean football game so far, but that penalty will back up the Irish. So that'll back them up to the 16.
Yeah, only the second penalty for the Irish tonight.
Yeah.
The other one was the illegal forward pass.
There's a good look at Franklin, who's headed to Davidson next year. He's going to roll. Oh, they do the option to Cates. Cates cuts in the middle, and he is going to get down inside the 10 to about the 9. It's about a 7-yard pickup. It was 1st and 15, so it'll be 2nd and 8, or 2nd and 7. 22.6 left, timeout on the field. All right, Nathan, what do you do?
Yeah, it was a little bit of an interesting call there because you'd love to have saved that last timeout.
Yeah.
Or you could have maybe run it a little bit later. So we certainly talked about rolling them out earlier, but it's been a lot to the edges. Maybe you look for some kind of post or something in the middle of the field.
Both these teams are obviously have a lot of confidence in their front lines because they have been running the football for the most part tonight, and with some success for sure. By the way, we mentioned Jim Franklin committed to Davidson. Jaden Worth with a couple of D1 offers. Jack Rhodes has an offer already, and Daniel Clark is starting to get some attention from mid-major programs. So a lot of college scouts keeping an eye on this Aquinas team, and I'm telling you, they need to start keeping an eye on those 2 sophomores for Hephzibah, Reese and Bird. Man in motion, and another whistle.
We got a timeout, Hephzibah.
So the Rebels didn't like what they saw in the formation. They're going to call a timeout here. And see what James Leonard decides to do.
They don't do you any good. You don't get to take them to the second half. So if you don't like what you see, you might as well use a timeout here. It's critical play in the game here. It's going to be which one of these defenses can get a turnover as we get to here in the second half. Which one can get the one stop could be the difference in the game.
We meant flipping the field. Coach Dorsey earlier today talking with WJBF News Channel 6, and that was one of the things he said. You know, those little things like flipping the field and special teams come into play so much when you play a good team, especially when it's going to be a close matchup. And tonight we look to have 2 pretty evenly matched teams.
With having so few possessions, you may see more aggressive coaching as well. You may see them going for it on anything like short, even if they're in their own side of the field.
Well, it's 2nd and 8. The ball is spotted at the 9-yard line, and it is with 22 seconds left. Let's see what they do. Franklin holding it. Now he's going to run. Franklin trying to make a man miss. He does. To the 5 and to the 4, and he's out of bounds. So he'll stop the clock. He is down to about the 3 or 4 yard line. And he does step out of bounds. So, and only 8 seconds ran off the clock.
Yeah.
So 14.1 seconds left.
Very smart getting out of bounds there. But this Hephzibah secondary, and he's gone back to pass. They've been great.
Those athletes back there have done a great job. And they got a lot of guys playing both ways on both these teams, but especially Hephzibah's secondary. I mean, those are the leaders on the offense, Kahn and Reese. And you got the quarterback, J.J. Gant, in there at safety. So Franklin now going to try to throw it. He throws a screen. He was trying to hit Hutchinson. Put a little too much on that one, and he knows it. He's kind of kicking himself over that one. But only 4 seconds off the clock, so is this fourth? I thought they got the first down a moment ago. I guess they were short.
Yeah, I think he stepped out a couple of yards.
Yeah, I thought he got the first down, so
before the
my
first
apologies
down marker,
there.
yeah.
So he was out of bounds. So it's 4th and 2 from the 4-yard line.
Yeah, it was on the far side of the field from us. So it was a little hard to see where he actually stepped out.
Yeah, so it's 4th and 2. They can get the first down without scoring, but big play here. 4th down. This is a huge play. 4th down with 10 seconds left. Franklin going to hand it off, and it's going to be a touchdown. I think that was Hutchinson, the freshman, Eli Hutchinson. Remember that name, folks, as the Irish punch it in from about the 3.5-yard line. And with 4.3 seconds left, they are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And that's just confidence in your line and in that running back. Boy, he hit the hole hard, quickly there, Nathan.
Absolutely. He's got a burst.
Yep.
For sure when he comes into this football game. And definitely what you like there is Jim Franklin running the offense. Great job of time management there.
Grant Miller is on to try and tie things up with the extra point. If you're just joining us, both of these offenses have only been on the field twice.
Replay the down.
Hephzibah had 2 possessions and 2 rushing touchdowns. Aquinas, 2 possessions and 2 rushing touchdowns. Hephzibah scored with their quarterback first, running back second. Aquinas with their quarterback first, their running back second. Kind of been mirrored. Oh, and the bad snap. And it's the freshman backup quarterback throwing into the end zone, and he got it. They didn't mean to do it, but a 2-point conversion gives them the lead, but a flag is down, I believe. No, it's a player down. How about that? Great heads-up play by the freshman quarterback, Turner Stevenson. What a play by Stevenson, and I think it was Zion Allen. You see Stevenson, a bad snap. He rolls out, throws it into the back of the end zone, and it was Zion Allen who caught it. And Aquinas wasn't trying to take the lead. They were trying to tie it up as we've got an injured Aquinas player on the field. But Aquinas taking the lead with that 2-point conversion, 15-14. How about that?
Yeah, could be the difference in the game in this type of matchup.
Yeah, we did not see that. Did not see that coming, but, man, a heads-up play by the freshman. And, again, he's probably the 3rd quarterback on this team, but he's the holder. And James Leonard, happy that he has the quarterback in there holding and not a punter or another player, because Turner was able to pick up that ball and roll and not give up on the play. And Zion Allen found himself in the back of the end zone open and was able to secure the football. Watch this again. Bad snap. Stevenson rolls out and heaves it into everything he could rolling out to get it back into the back of the end zone to Allen. So really heads-up play there. So while they tend to the player,
I know you don't plan for every scenario, but I've got to believe they've practiced that before, just by the way everybody was calm and everybody ran to try and get open.
Yeah.
Like they have had to have practiced that.
It was almost like it was planned. I mean, it was and good thing he's up off the field there. The injured Aquinas player looks like he's going to be okay. Yeah. Big number 63, one of the guys opening holes for these running backs, junior Robert Webb.
Yeah, if they haven't practiced that, that's just incredible football IQ by everybody on the field.
You're right. Stevenson to roll out, and the guys not to give up on the play. Allen looking for the ball in the end zone.
He came from all the way on the other side and ran the back end line.
Just 4.3 seconds left, and Aquinas now all of a sudden in the lead, 15-14. That is a huge play. So Hephzibah missed an extra point, got the 2-point conversion in on their second touchdown. Aquinas, a botched snap, but it ends up working out because of the heads-up play by Stevenson. So Hephzibah will kick it off here, just 4.3 seconds left. And it's a low squib kick, and Hephzibah's going to get it, but that'll do it for the first half. So Aquinas, with the late score and 2-point conversion, takes the lead in what was a really well-played first half by both teams. Aquinas leads it 15-14 here at halftime, and I think we're going to go down to the field. Mike O'Neill has James Leonard.
How you doing?
Good.
I'm here with Coach Leonard, and it's 15-14 at halftime. Due to the base of the game, you had 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns. Are you going to be more aggressive coming out of the halftime?
Well, it depends on if we're going to throw it to who we're supposed to throw it to. You know, we're not making very good decisions right now.
Okay. Do you have any adjustments in plan for their running back?
Tackle, yeah, we got to tackle. It's embarrassing.
Okay. Thank you so much, Coach.
All right, thanks, Mike. And I just love it. I love these coaches. I love it. I love it. I love it.
I love the honesty. It's just it's pure honesty.
It is.
He's not happy with the way things. He feels like they can play better than that.
Yep. All right. Well, we're going to take a break, but don't go anywhere. We got the Kimberly Clark halftime show coming your way. Aquinas leading Hephzibah here, Game Night Live on Highland Avenue at the beautiful new facility here at Aquinas. We'll be back.
Welcome back to Game Night Live, and I'm here with In Motion. And what do you do at In Motion?
So listen, we do stretching. What that means is you get on our table, we do all the work for you, you just sit back and relax.
Okay, that's nice. What age range of type of people do you stretch?
So we see people from the age of 9 to 89. There's really not an age limit. We see people from athletes to hip replacements, knee replacements, spinal fusions, Parkinson's, MS, you name it, we see it.
Speaking of athletes, would it be beneficial for athletes to come at In Motion?
Of course, increased flexibility, increased range of motion, injury prevention, and just overall enhancing their athletic performance.
Sounds like I needed y'all when I was playing. Goodness. Where can people find y'all?
So you can go to our website, InMotionWellnessStudio.com, Facebook, and Instagram.
Thank you so much.
From teaching to stay home with my 3 boys, and we had moved down here to Augusta in the meantime, and so as I was kind of looking around for new employment, I was always hoping something would come up at Aquinas, and just because I had seen what an amazing place it is and what great people worked here and heard wonderful things from the students. So as soon as I heard there was an opening at Aquinas, I kind of jumped on that. I really wanted to be a part of things here.
I love it. I went to school here, I used to teach here. This green and gold kind of gets in your blood. It's just, there's no place I'd rather work, but it's more than a job.
The students are great here at Aquinas. You know, it makes my job easy because, you know, it's a very disciplined environment. So when they get down on the field, that carries over from the hallways in the classroom. You know, we have really good kids here.
Oh, our students are top-notch. They're formed in a way that, you know, that faith background as well. Many of them, they understand the faith. They're just great kids. They're just great all-around kids. We just really connect. And as campus minister, too, I enjoy that, the ability to be able to relate to them in that way.
It's been great. The teachers are awesome. I like to go to my teachers, and they help me a lot.
Students are great. I mean, we have a broad range of students. You know, everybody is different and unique, and we don't have like a one homogeneous group of kids. So there's always opportunities to meet kids where they're at, whether it's, you know, in the classroom with some content or some spiritual struggle, or dealing with kids, you know, who are having to overcome adversity. We've got opportunities like that to reach and impact kids.
This is much more than a job for all of us. It's a vocation where we get the chance to work in a place where we share the same values. So the relationship's built on our Catholic faith.
I think the biggest thing is that we're so Christ-centered, and I think that we truly all feel that when we walk through these doors, that we actually do care for one another in a special way. While we're here to teach and the students to learn, kind of underneath all of that, and in a very real way, we're bringing Christ to the center of all that we do.
My grandparents went here, my father went here, and my mother went here. And they just want to send me here, and it's an awesome school.
This is probably the first place I've ever worked where I feel like there haven't been lots of jealousies or, you know, different groups of people not being inclusive. I mean, we just all really try to include one another, and we have fun together, and we have, you know, all of these commonalities that really are just a really beautiful thing.
To come to Aquinas, it was really a calling. Maureen Lewis, our principal, reached out to me, sent me an email. I was not looking to leave the job I was at. I got an email around spring break and talked to my wife, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna check out the job at Aquinas. Actually, her father taught at Aquinas too, so there was a pretty cool connection there. Came over here and interviewed for a job, but not expecting to take the job. I was really happy with where I was at. But after probably about 45 minutes of being here and an interview with our two principals, our assistant principal and principal, it became pretty clear that this was a place that God was calling me to be, and I really look at it like a calling. I made a decision. I told her, I asked Ms. Lewis if I could have the weekend to make the decision, and I had already made up my mind though, so I waited till Monday to actually tell her, but it was pretty obvious that this is where I should be.
Welcome back to the Kimberly-Clark Halftime. I'm here with Christian Givens, the General Manager at the Riceboro Road McDonald's. Christian, what does it mean to have a locally owned McDonald's in the area?
It really means a lot. Like, nobody really knows how many people actually comes through our restaurant, from the elderly to the children to the local businesses by us. So to be able to feed everyone is such a great opportunity to us.
What does McDonald's mean to the employees and the customers?
McDonald's mean a lot. Like, we do a lot for the community. Like, one of our Roundup McDonald houses down in Augusta help with the kids in the hospital and stuff like that, give them a place to stay and take care of them. One thing like they did for me, you know, McDonald's put me through college. I'm gonna say I started as a crew person, worked my way up to be a GM, and I graduated college through them. So it's a great opportunity.
I love to hear that. Are there any new upcoming events or any new items coming to the menu?
Yes, there's some new items coming to the menu. In October, we got the Chicken Big Mac coming.
Okay.
I want to say a lot of people are ready and prepared. You know, you got to come down and get one.
I will be seated. Thank you so much. Nate, AB, back to you.
All right, thanks a lot. And, man, good representative there from McDonald's. Love hearing his story there, putting him through school and working his way up. Always good to see.
Yeah, we may have to make a stop on the way home.
I was going to say, he's got me hungry. Well, Nathan, I got to tell you, man, what a first half we had between Aquinas and Hephzibah. I don't remember a first half where we only had 4 offensive possessions, and I don't remember a half where we had no punts. 0 punts by either team, and here we are at 15-14.
Yeah, I don't remember that. We were talking about that a little bit earlier. I don't remember a half with no punts in it.
Yeah.
Definitely is something you don't see very often. I just feel like it's going to come down to who's going to get that one stop?
Yeah.
Who's going to get the one turnover? Who's going to be forced to go for it on the 4th down where they really don't want to, but they don't feel like they're going to get enough possessions?
I mean, the difference in the game was a botched snap that turned into a 2-point conversion for Aquinas. Well, we also have a lot of other great games going on around the area, so why don't we take a look at some of the scores that we have around the CSRA. And we've got some great games going on. Rivalry night for a few teams. And one of the biggest was that Evans-Lakeside game. Both those teams are 2-0. Evans right now off to a great start at 14-0. Westside, I'm telling you, Lee Hutto, one of the most underrated coaches around, they're up on ARC 20-6. A good game between Bamberg, Earhart, and Barnwell, 2 very good football teams, 7-7. Greenbrier is going to be kicking themselves. They were up 14-0. They've had 2 muffed punts. That led to Statesboro scoring twice and tying it up. And also North Augusta, not an easy night tonight with South Aiken, 21-14. Thompson really down this year, struggling with a Grovetown team that has been outscored in their 2 contests, 68-15. Burke County, no trouble with Warren County, as you might imagine. And how about the big surprise of the night? Midland Valley, off their great year last year, they lost so many kids that to graduation. They struggled in their first game, but now they are leading Lexington, who's coming off a win over North Augusta, 14-6. Those are just some of the scores from around the area. And, of course, don't forget you can tune in tonight at 11:35 for Football Friday night for all of the scores and complete coverage. Only 30-minute show dedicated to high school football in the CSRA.
Yeah, we know Mike's enjoying that halftime score.
Yeah.
Over
Midland Valley guy.
over Lexington.
Midland Valley, yeah. Mike's proud down there. Yeah, and I don't think anybody saw that, even as good as they were last year. And I know they lost Trayvon Dunbar, but they got a pretty darn good running back who was his backup last year, had over 1,000 yards. But again, Lexington, all I kept hearing about them, and I talked to the guy who does their North Augusta's games on the radio, Jason Lynn, and he said Lexington's defensive line was dominant. Well, tonight, Midland Valley's finding a way to score somehow. Don't know what's happening in that game, but again, you can get all the highlights and details with Football Friday night. Do you have your QBs by the quarter ready to go?
I do. I got them ready to go.
Let's do it.
So if we start with Hephzibah, Grant was 2 of 3 for 16 yards passing in that first half, and he also added 61 yards on the ground on 9 attempts and had a rushing touchdown. So if we kind of change it over to the other side, Jim Franklin ran the ball for 41 yards and a touchdown. And I don't think any of us saw this coming. 1 of 4 for 3 yards passing in the first half.
This is a guy that threw for 2,700 yards last year and 31 touchdowns. And, yeah, I'm stunned by that stat for sure. He's run the ball pretty well, but the area's best passing quarterback with 1 completion in the first half. That is a stunner, but still Aquinas is in the lead 15-14. Here at the half. Well, we've got a few more things to get to here. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we will have more for you. It's the Kimberly Clark halftime show. Aquinas out in front of Hephzibah 15-14. We will take a look at how the first half went, recap that for you with some stats and info. We'll do all that when we return after a quick timeout. Well, there you see the rain coming down here at Aquinas. Does that change things going into the second half? A relatively clean football game all the way around. Penalties, turnovers, everything. Clean game in the first half. Ashley Brown along with Nathan Edwards, Mike O'Neill down on the sidelines. And Nathan, the first half we said just 2 offensive possessions. Time of possession, I mean, almost equal, I guess, because they both did basically the same thing to one another.
Yeah, this rain may not change a lot. They've only had 19 passing yards combined with both the schools in the first half. So if you're looking at Hephzibah, they had 125 rushing yards, had 16 through the air, only had the 4 penalties for 20 yards on their side. And then on Aquinas, ran the ball for 146 yards, really ran the ball well, but really struggled in the passing game, only 3 yards passing and a couple of penalties in that front. So really, I think if you told Coach Dorsey that you'd be able to run the ball this way, you would have scored on every possession you had.
And you held Aquinas to 3 yards or 1 completion? Yeah.
You'd say, I would take that. How big of a lead do I have?
Yeah, exactly. And instead they're down 1. But, again, a clean football game. Well-coached teams. You can tell that by the way they're playing. The big stat, we kept talking about Hephzibah running, and all the yardage, and Aquinas giving up 272 a game. But Aquinas actually has more rushing yards than Hephzibah with 146. And it's been a combination. It's been Franklin, it's been Cates, and I tell you, I've really been impressed with the freshman Eli Hutchinson, who scored the second touchdown for Aquinas. He's great on defense. We knew that, but, man, he looks good running the football too, Nathan.
Yeah, he's got had 4 carries, and he's got 34 yards and a touchdown. Really had a burst, really good change of pace when they brought him in.
Well, you think about it tonight, between Aquinas' 2, Cates and Hutchinson running the ball, and between and Riante Bird, the talented running back for Hephzibah. 2 of those guys, you've got a junior, a sophomore, and a freshman. They're all back next year. 2 of them are back for multiple years. So, yeah, these young guys stepping up tonight and playing really, really well for Game Night Live for sure.
Yeah, if you love a little bit of old school football, this has definitely been a lot of running the ball, very physical play on the defensive side for both teams.
And I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall in the locker room at halftime to see what James Leonard had to say, because he walked off the field none too pleased with what happened in that first half.
Yeah, I don't think Coach Leonard was too pleased with the passing game. I think he felt like they had some opportunities to get the ball in there to some folks, and I think he wants Franklin just to let it rip here in the second half.
Well, like I said, let's take a look at some of the highlights here as Aquinas leads Hephzibah by 1. Here you go, the Rebels with the football. And this is what they did for that first drive. It was Gant and Bird running the football, and not really anything fancy, just run up the middle off tackle. And just good plays there. And there's Gant with a little screen to Reese. And I tell you, I love this kid Reese on defense, especially just a sophomore. Aquinas gets it back. Franklin running, throws. This is the ball where he completed a deep pass, but he was across the line. There were actually 2 penalties on the play, so it didn't count. And here's the sophomore, Riante Bird, keeping those legs churning. What a hard runner, and a great run there. And he had several great runs in the first half and a touchdown. And here's one that almost got in the end zone. He falls down at the 1. And then Christian Cates returning the favor with a nice run of his own down to the sidelines. Here's a big hit from Reese, who came out of – actually, that was Kahn who came out of nowhere with the big hit. And then J.J. Gant running the ball and getting his way into the end zone for Hephzibah. Gant with his 5th rushing touchdown of the year. And here was the biggest play of the half. Turner Stevenson, the freshman holder, the snap was low. He picks it up, grabs the football, rolls out, and throws the 2-point conversion to Zion Allen, and that is where we stand, 15-14. Hephzibah out in front as the officials are talking it over here as the rain continues to come down. Both teams are kind of doing some stretching, but more than anything, just kind of relaxing, it looks like, as we get ready for the second half.
Yeah, an even crazier stat is both teams have both had 2 possessions, both scored on both possessions, and both have 26 offensive plays.
And they've been mirror images of each other. Yeah, they've both been running the ball, quarterback and running back running it. Yeah,
just Aquinas has been a little bit more explosive in their running. Definitely kind of Hephzibah has been just 5-6 yards kind of grinding it out.
Yeah. It's been and like I said, well-played first half, not a lot of penalties, 2 well-coached teams, you can tell. And it's really, really been an entertaining first half here on Game Night Live. And I think we are just about ready to go down to the sidelines. And Mike O'Neill has Daniel Dorsey, the head coach of the Hephzibah Rebels, standing by, ready to talk.
Yes, I'm back here with Coach Daniel Dorsey. And, Coach, it's a close game going to halftime. Both teams had 2 possessions to score. What's your attitude going to the second half?
Just keep doing what we're doing. Stick to the game plan. I think we'll turn out fine.
Okay, that was your message to the team in the locker room?
Yes, sir.
Stay to it. What is your plan to stop that quarterback in their running game?
We're just trying to slow them down as best we can and get off the field on defense on 3rd downs.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, there you go. That is Daniel Dorsey. I tell you, we've got some really good coaches in this area. James Leonard, although he's young, is one of the elder statesmen. Dorsey now is one of the up-and-coming young coaches in the area, and we've got some really good ones. I love every time I hear Daniel Dorsey talk. He seems to have this Hephzibah team going in the right direction.
Yeah, I think you may got a little bit of different messages at halftime. I think one may have gotten the paint ripped off the wall, and the other was a little bit more kind of calm, like let's just keep doing what we're doing.
They might have had to give James Leonard some blood pressure medicine at halftime, calm him down a little bit as we get set for the second half here on Game Night Live. And again, a reminder to stick around. Not only can you watch the game live each week on MeTV, and you also get a chance to watch the rebroadcast at noon on WJBF NewsChannel 6 on Sunday. So if you are a fan of high school football or a fan of one of these 2 teams and want to see the rebroadcast, make sure you tune in at noon on WJBF NewsChannel 6 for the broadcast in its entirety. And also, I remind all my friends who are maybe going to high school games, you can always pull this game up each and every week on the WJBF app and watch the game while you're in another stadium, paying attention to maybe the team you pull for.
Or you can do like our friend John Hart, and you've got your man cave going, and you've got our game on one TV. And
well, I will say this. I do have, when I get home, the first thing I do on Friday nights, I get into the man cave, and I've got the Football Friday Night on to see all the scores and highlights from around the area. It's always that's a Friday tradition. Like my wife and kids usually are in bed. Every now and then they're up, but they know that I'm just going straight to my area anyway. So to watch all the scores, and that'll be coming up at 11:35 tonight. So here we go. Second half about to get underway. Aquinas will get the football first here in the second half. Possession's so important because they've been so hard to come by, as both teams have been able to eat up a lot of clock running the football downfield throughout the first half. So here goes Hephzibah to kick things off in the second half. That is their place kicker, Gamino. And again, the ball on the ground as it's picked up across the 15, 20, the 25, still on his feet. A nice run back there. That is Wilkerson. And again, he's another one of these young players that Aquinas is very high on. C.J. Wilkerson, he is only a sophomore.
And we got a flag at about the 26-yard line.
Yeah, in the area of some sort of illegal block or hold. So, yeah, illegal block in the back maybe?
Yes.
Yep. So it'll back them up. And it'll negate that nice return by the sophomore Wilkerson. And Aquinas will have the football here, but backed up kind of deep in their own territory. So they're going to spot it at the 17-yard line. So 1st and 10 for Aquinas. They lead it by 1. Jim Franklin, their senior leader at quarterback, taking the snap. We're underway, second half. And he throws it out in the flats behind the receiver. He was trying to go to Cates, but it's incomplete. So we start the second half throwing the football. We saw so many runs in the first half.
Yeah, even crazier stat is the botched extra point was for as many yards as Franklin threw in the first.
Yeah, and it was equal to completions for Franklin, which, again, we've seen him on Game Night Live throw for 300 yards. We've seen him throw 3 or 4 touchdowns. But tonight, struggling in the passing game a bit. And they're going to hand it off to Cates. Cates looking for a hole. He's got it along the left side, still on his feet. Cates with a nice run. He is going to pick up the Aquinas first down. So Christian Cates with a nice run all the way up to the 32. So 15 yards for Cates on second down. And Aquinas gets back some of that yardage they lost on the penalty on that kick return. And Cates is still in the backfield with Jim Franklin. And they are going to hand it off. And here he goes again. Cates running the football, this time up to about the 37. So he'll pick up 5 more. Jim Franklin, as a sophomore, had such a great start to a sophomore season. And you'll remember this, Nathan, midway through the season, he broke his leg, injured his knee, out for the season. They bring in the freshman Jack Rhodes, and he was sensational at quarterback. They both really played well that year, and luckily, Franklin was able to come back last year and have a healthy season, and he was terrific.
Yeah, we had that crazy back and forth game that we did on Game Night Live where it kind of went down. I know it didn't go Aquinas' favor, but Rhodes played great in that football game.
Oh, yeah, for sure, with Washington Wilkes. And we also did Aquinas early in the year when they had Westside, and that was the game where Franklin went wild, throwing for 3 touchdowns.
So this is the kind of thing that could be the difference in this game, a huge holding penalty.
Yeah, 2 penalties already in this second half for Aquinas after a pretty clean first half. Matter of fact, that equaled the penalties they had in the first half.
Another big hit.
Yeah, we've seen some hits tonight for sure. This is going to be hard deciding our hit of the game at the end of the game. You can tune in for all that after the game, the McDonald's offensive and defensive players of the game as well. Our Powerade play of the game. And week 3 for us here on Game Night Live. Or no, week 4.
Yeah,
gosh, it's flying by. Week 4 Game Night Live. I said third installment earlier in the broadcast.
We're a third of the way done.
Hard to believe. All right, now Franklin looking deep, throwing. He's got a man, but I tell you, these defensive backs for Hephzibah, not fooled at all. Good coverage right there. As a matter of fact, the defensive back had better coverage than or better position on the ball than the receiver. That's Riante Bird. Or check that. Let's see that one. No, that's Reese. So you've got Reese, Kahn, Gant, and Bird, 3 of the best offensive players, and also all 3 in that secondary. And I tell you, they've done a tremendous job tonight covering the pass. As good as we've seen any secondary play, really. And Aquinas hadn't thrown it much, but when they have, Hephzibah has been in position for the most part every time.
This is kind of the first 3rd and long we've seen in this game.
Well, we did not have a punt the entire first half. And Aquinas is hoping we don't have one here. Franklin going to throw it out into the flats, going to get a screen. That is Hutchinson, the freshman. But there is a flag down, the 3rd penalty. And again, they only had 2 penalties in the first half, but that's the 3rd flag. If this is against Aquinas, against the Irish here in the second half.
He's about 3 yards short of the first down. So would they take the penalty or decline it? I think they're going to take the penalty. Or maybe not. Yep.
So look at Chip Huffman, our so illegal shift. That is the third penalty of this possession. Well, one on the kickoff, and then 2 on this offensive possession.
I may have declined that penalty there. If you thought they were going to punt the ball, it was going to be 4th and 4 on their own 30.
Yeah.
30 on their own 38, 39-yard line. I don't know that they would have gone for it in that situation.
Instead, it's 3rd and 15 with a really good passing quarterback, although tonight they've struggled in the passing game. Franklin pump fakes. Now they're going to set up a screen pass. He's got a man on the move here, but boy, Hephzibah closed very quickly. Speed in that secondary as Kahn comes up to make the tackle. That was Jack Rhodes that they were getting the ball to, and Rhodes is a little frustrated. And when you catch 60 passes for 1,000 yards and 16 touchdowns one season, and then you're struggling tonight, your first catch of the game, I can see the frustration.
Yeah. Coach Dorsey has a lot of trust in his defense there. It's why he took that penalty, trying to get some more field position.
Well, Aquinas is going to punt it away, our first punt of the game. And the Hephzibah Rebels, who have looked good running the football tonight, are going to get it back. And nice punt. Whoa, what a punt. That's the second just monster punt we've seen this season. That one all the way down to the 21-yard line. And we will take a timeout. When we come back, Hephzibah will have the football after that monster punt by Aquinas. And we are back at Aquinas, WJBF Game Night Live, where the Hephzibah Rebels have the football, their first possession of the second half. After stopping Aquinas' offense, well, Aquinas stopped themselves a little bit with the penalties as well.
Yeah, I think Coach Dorsey thought he was going to get better field position than that, but a 53-yard booming punt there really flipped the field position.
And how about this run by Bird? I told you he keeps those feet churning. The biggest run of the night easily. Let's see if he's going to be caught from behind. And oh my goodness, Bird with a huge run, biggest offensive play of the night. And Aquinas' coaching staff is not going to be happy because he was hit in the hole. And I think it was the freshman Hutchinson that got him. But Bird is able to bounce off the tackle and pick up a monster gain.
And 55 yards.
Yeah, easily the biggest play of the night. Riante Bird, that puts him over 100 yards for the night. Watch the replay. He gets hit in the hole, and they should have had him right there. That's their freshman, second leading tackler, Hutchinson, but unable to hold on and wrap him up. But a nice job hustling by number 5. That is Kirsten Brinson. Tell you, his brother, Cam Brinson, one of the best players to ever play here at Aquinas. And Kirsten Brinson saved a touchdown, the junior defensive back. But, man, I don't know that we've seen him back. And he's a 10th grader, and we've seen Michael Doe, and we saw some of the guys at Thompson. We've seen some good backs this year. We saw Javon Edwards even, the best back maybe. You could argue that, other than maybe Jaquan Holman. Those are neck and neck. Yeah. But I don't know that we've seen a guy break tackles and keep those legs moving like Riante Bird.
He's got really good balance, and he's got really good vision and able to see the hole and set up his blocks.
And they're going to fake the handoff. Gant keeps it. This time Gant with a head of steam, and he's going to pick up good yardage before finally being brought down. That was Fitzgerald with another tackle. So Fitzgerald with the tackle there, number 14. Harrison Fitzgerald. He's got a younger brother named Phillip that's going to be a heck of a player coming through this system as well soon.
There's been a lot of that from Hephzibah tonight. They kind of run it up the middle, and then all of a sudden you look, and it was a 7-8 yard play.
Well, they are in the in-motion red zone yet again. So Gant has Hayward in the backfield. Hayward's going to be the lead blocker. This time Aquinas was ready.
It's going to be interesting, coming very close.
Yeah, they're going to spot it at the 14. Yeah, going to be really, really close. They're going to say he's short.
Yep, and I think this is going to be direct snap time.
So 4th and 1. They leave Hayward in there. So here's Bird. There's going to be a direct snap. Big play in this game. Aquinas would need a stop, and I think Bird's going to get the first down easily. So Bird with a nice head of steam behind that big offensive line, and they are some big boys up there. So Bird gets the first down. He's having a heck of a night. Will be the 3rd straight 100-yard game for him this season. He's also at 4 touchdowns now.
Yeah, he's got 117 yards on 12 carries already.
Well, so he's got 53 carries on the season, and he's over 500 yards. There's a fumbled snap. Bird's going to keep it and try to run, but he's going to be brought down. Fitzgerald was back there along with Hutchinson. So Hutchinson and Fitzgerald with the stop, and the botch snap slows Hephzibah down there. But yeah, he came in with 41, so he's got 53 carries now and over 500 yards already, and we're not even finished with game 3, and this is just a 10th grader. Like I said, they lost Telly Johnson, who's been a 1,000-yard back each of the last 2 seasons. He's now at Northern Illinois. But, man, they haven't missed a beat with Bird running the ball. And a flag is down. It's going to be on Aquinas. Timeout. Or no, it's a timeout.
Aquinas. It's their first timeout.
So Aquinas calls timeout. Well, we got a moment. Let's tell you about the Georgia Army National Guard. They offer you so much more than what you think. You can get a degree with money for school, learn job skills that translate to the civilian world, make bonds that last a lifetime, and earn pride for life. When you become a Guard soldier, your family will thank you, your country will thank you, and your future will owe you. Georgia Army National Guard. A reminder, if you're just tuning in, John Hart is not with us tonight. He is at an award ceremony in Savannah. Is it in Savannah? Is that where he's at?
I believe it is.
He's at an award ceremony in Savannah, picking up an award for WJBF, and happy for him. So you got me and Nathan tonight with Mike O'Neill down on the sidelines. And this time it's Gant across the 15 to about the 14. And every time Hephzibah's had the ball, they've had these long drives. Now, this time they did have a big run, but they're still eating up a lot of clock.
Yeah. 3rd and 11 or 12 here. Maybe a long. Haven't really thrown. They've only thrown a couple of passes tonight. They're both kind of screen passes.
Yeah, one of them was to Kahn. Keep an eye on him. He's in the slot. So let's see what they do here. Gant with 2 men in the backfield. They gave it to Bird, and Bird going nowhere. Good job that time by the Aquinas defense. Stepping up was number 55, Will Parrish, making the play. And, boy, Parrish coming in there with a head of steam and a big hit. Yeah. He took down their ball carrier and one of his teammates. So it's 4th down for the Rebels.
This is where that 2-point conversion is
so
huge
big.
Because I mean, would be much more willing to just give a try to a field goal if they were tied, but I think they are going to try and
They're going to try it. They're going to try a field goal. And it's going to be a 30-yarder. And so a 30-yard field goal attempt from Martin Gamino. Gamino's kick is blocked. So Aquinas, so after the first half of both teams scoring on each possession, in the second half, Hephzibah gets a stop, and now Aquinas gets a stop with a blocked field goal. Didn't see who got that. Gamino, who missed an extra point earlier in the game and now has a field goal blocked. That is a huge play for the Irish. James. So we'll take a quick timeout here, or we keep a break here, and we'll take a quick timeout, and we'll be right back. There was a look at the kick blocked. I think it was Fitzgerald who got it. So Harrison Fitzgerald with the block kick, and that helps Aquinas keep the lead. Here's Franklin. He's going to run it on first down. Nice head of steam by the big 6'4" quarterback. He's up to about the 28-yard line. So Franklin picks up nice yardage there on the first play of this possession for Aquinas. They haven't been able to get the passing attack going, but they have run the football very effectively. Just 3 minutes left in this third quarter. Give it to Cates. Christian Cates to the left side, and he's going to get up to about the 36. So a nice run there, about 7 yards. So Aquinas running the football very effectively tonight since their passing game has not been there. So 2nd and 3 after the 7-yard pickup.
Yeah, we'll see if they try and get the passing game going, or does Coach Leonard just go, hey, we're running the football great, let's just keep it on the ground.
Well, Franklin faked the pitch and decided to run, but eventually he ran. The first guy he got by, but the second guy he did not get past. That was big number 60 for the Rebels. That is Mason Irvin, a 10th grader. Or was that 60 or 50? It looks like 60, Mason Irvin. Or was that Solomon Mathis? That was Mathis who got him.
Yeah, when I first got here tonight, that's what a lot of the Aquinas folks were, when they were warming up, just the size of the offense and defensive line.
Yeah, Solomon Mathis is one of the better linemen in the area, offense and defense, and there he made a great play on the ball. Nice cut. Boy, Cates with a couple of great cuts on that play. We talked about the cut by Hutchinson in the first half. Watch the moves by Cates on this play. Wow. He made 2 or 3 just nifty moves to get to the outside and pick up another first down for Aquinas. Aquinas would love nothing more than a long, sustained drive and to get points. Closing in on the end of the third quarter. Irish up 1 and driving. Franklin going to fake it. Rolls out and going to throw it. He's got a man open. A beautiful touch pass, and it's complete. A beautiful little throw. Put a nice, just a little bit of air under the ball. Got it to Billy Barrett. So Barrett with the catch. That's a good job. I thought he was going to dump it off to the running back, but he threw over the linebackers and found Barrett.
Yeah, he definitely had the running back open early. But was very patient there and then kind of layered it in, like you talked about, right over the linebacker.
Yeah, beautifully thrown ball that time, and there you see why he is considered the best passing quarterback in the area, throwing for 2,700 yards and 31 TDs last year. And again, a reminder, don't forget, tune in to Football Friday Night, the best high school football coverage each and every Friday here on WJBF. No station covers more high school games with more in-depth coverage. And you can catch it at 11:35 right here on WJBF. Football Friday Night. Kira doing a great job in there each week. Graham Lee. And Mike O'Neill has been in there, but he's with us tonight.
Yeah. Stop down in there a little bit. It's a fun atmosphere. Everybody running around, getting scores.
When I first started doing that, I was like, man, if I just did this for a job on Friday, it's awesome, because I did it, early on in my career I would do some radio games and then hustle to the TV station to be there for the Friday night and break down the game we did. And, man, it was always a lot of fun watching everybody run around like chickens with their heads cut off trying to get the scores in.
And the WJBF crew, it's so much fun because they're all in there pulling for their alma maters, and they're happy when they're winning. So it's a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. And, it's easier now, so much digital. But back in the when I started in, 95, 96, 97, in that range, you didn't have access to all these scores and these different websites, and it was really tricky getting scores. You were counting on – you had contacts that you were hoping would call you, or they couldn't even text you. They paid you so you could call them back or something. dating myself a little bit, but it was a lot of fun. All right, ball is at the 25. They hand it off. This is Cates, and Cates up to about the 19. He has had a good night tonight. We were talking about Riante Taylor over 100 yards. Cates has got to be getting close.
Yeah, back in your day, they just waited for the guy on horseback to ride
That's
in,
right.
ride in with the scores.
Yeah. When they say Western Union, it was guys literally on horseback. And smoke signals for the score. Franklin at quarterback, closing in on the end of the third quarter. Nice spin move by Cates. Hayward tried to strip the football, but Cates able to hold on. And I think Aquinas is just going to let the clock run out here. That might be the final play of the third quarter, and it's going to be. Aquinas on the move, and they're up 15-14, Nathan.
Yeah, no scoring in that third quarter after we got score on every drive in the first half.
Well, that's going to do it for the third quarter of play. We've got the final stanza coming up, so stick around. Game Night Live continues with Aquinas up 1 and driving the football. And there's a look at the Aquinas sideline as the Irish up by 1 point, but more importantly for them, they've got the football. They are marching down the field inside the in-motion red zone, and they hand it to Cates, who's having a huge night. Cates trying to get left side. He breaks the tackle. Cates inside the 5 down to about the 4. Let's see if they spot him out. Great job breaking a tackle that time by Christian Cates. Watch at the end of this play. We get the Busby's instant replay here. There you see he broke that tackle and shoved out of bounds by Kahn, but not before he picked up a first down. So it's 1st and goal to go for the Irish. And how about a big congratulations to Sean Tiernan. His Greenbrier Wolfpack looked like they might be headed to a victory tonight. Again, that's a team that's 1-19 over the last 2 seasons, and they are now about to be 2-1 possibly. They lead Statesboro late. Oh, big hit. Okay, we've had some hits. That's the hit of the night. That hit right there, guys, that's an early candidate, right? Watch this play by, he's coming right at you, too. Oh, yeah. Christian Cates.
Love that camera angle.
Yeah, delivered a blow there. Great job by the crew there. So Aquinas now with the ball at the 2-yard line. Almost had some movement in the backfield, but Cates is going to get into the end zone. It is a touchdown for the Irish. Christian Cates with the score, and now Aquinas is up 21-14 as we await the extra point. We were talking about Midland Valley trying to upset Lexington. Lexington has just blocked a punt and returned it for a TD. And for the first time all night, they lead in that game, 18-14. So you'll definitely want to tune into Football Friday night for that one. The extra point is up. The extra point is good. And Aquinas leads it 21-14. We got plenty of football left, though. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a moment with the rest of this one. 11:07 to go. Aquinas up 7. All right, we're back at Aquinas with the Irish up 22-14. I said 21, of course. They got the 2-point conversion earlier. So Aquinas with an 8-point lead. The fans just erupted. I think they announced. Did they announce a Lincoln County score and they were losing and the fans went crazy?
I think they always erupt.
That's a rivalry game. Even though they're Aquinas has changed regions for a long time. That was a big. They were kind of the little brother to Lincoln County, and in recent years they've kind of taken over the series. And boy,
ball's loose.
The ball is loose. Did Aquinas get it? I think Aquinas got the football. You got to be kidding me. That is, we said little plays like that are the difference in these ball games. It was a short kick. The return man didn't come up quick enough. The ball was on the turf, and Aquinas has got it. Let's see who got the football. I think it was number 3 for the Irish who came away with it. That's Joseph Lambert, the sophomore. Watch on this kick here. It's basically just a long onside kick. the return man came up, but the ball, it was like a wedge. Yeah. The ball had some backspin on it, and it was the sophomore, Joseph Lambert, who has had a couple of older brothers that played here and were great football players for Aquinas. And they're going to hand it, why not? Give it to Cates. He's been great tonight. He's going to get it inside the 20. And let's get our QBs by the quarter, Nathan.
All right, Gant for Hephzibah is 2 of 3 for 16 yards passing in the game, but he's really done a lot of damage on the ground with 73 yards rushing and a touchdown. And Franklin is 3 of 8 for 29 yards passing, and he's got 55 yards on the ground and a touchdown.
That's your QBs by the quarter, brought to you each and every game here on Game Night Live by our friends at Culpeper Lumber Ace Hardware. So 10:32 to go in this one in county. Jim Franklin at quarterback. The Irish have had the ball 4 times. They've scored 3 of the 4. Franklin's going to roll out, throw it. Got a man behind him, and it's bobbled and dropped by Barrett. The ball thrown a little bit behind him. Franklin had a lot of room to run there.
Yeah, he's just been
off
a little bit tonight.
He has been. It's been an interesting, weird night. And we've seen him a lot, and every time we've seen him, he has just been outstanding throwing the ball. But tonight, for whatever reason, a little bit off. And keep in mind, Boogie Douglas and Buddy Rowe Guerrero and some of their top targets are not back. Now, Jack Rhodes is their number 1 target back from a year ago, but they did graduate their number 2 and 3 receivers. Well, they graduated 1 and 1 transferred. They give it to Cates. Cates, who's been great tonight running the ball, over 100 yards. And he is going to get down to about the 22. And that's going to set up 3rd down. Or check that, 4th down and about 4. And they're going to try to kick a field goal here. Aquinas trying to make it a 2-possession game. The kicker is Grant Miller, a senior. And they're going to try and boot one in here. It'll be about let's see, it's going to be about a 34-yarder.
No good.
And the kick is no good. So Hephzibah had a kick blocked, and now Aquinas misses a kick. And that keeps it a 1-possession game. Hephzibah needs a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it.
Yeah, it's such a huge stop there by Hephzibah because really there, if Aquinas is able to push it in or get any type of score and push it to 2 possessions, it would have made it really difficult for Hephzibah.
Now they tried the 34-yarder, and Miller unable to knock it through. I say 34. Was it 39? Let's see where the ball is spotted.
Yeah, spotted on the 20 now, but it was a 34-yard.
34, okay. So Hephzibah with the ball, that big offensive line, trying to open some holes for the ground attack, led by Riante Bird, the sophomore. This time, though, it's the quarterback Gant, and Gant is going to be brought down after a short gain. He'll end up getting about 4 out of that one. Well, this is an exciting week. The first full week of football, Nathan. We got high school, we got college, we got the pros, we got this rebroadcast on Sunday.
Yeah, we're gonna get our trivia question in here momentarily here with you, so you're not off the hook just because John's not here.
Oh man,
yeah.
Thought I had a week off. And there's the handoff to Bird. Bird is going to make a man miss, but a good job making the tackle there. Bird got by him, but he tripped him up enough to bring him down. The tackle made by number 10, or check that, I say 10. That was not Jack Rhodes. Let's see who that was. Was it 18? It was 18 who made the tackle, R.J. Evans.
I thought he was going to keep his feet there for a
second. I did too. Evans got just enough. Again, you got to tackle him low. He keeps those, and you got to wrap him up. We saw that on that 55-yard run where he got hit right in the hole by Hutchinson, but they didn't wrap him up, and Bird was able to break it for a long one. They give it to him again, Bird, and Hutchinson this time is going to hold on, and he gets some help from some other green jerseys. I tell you, Eli Hutchinson, Aquinas may have the best freshman and best sophomore in the area. Eli Hutchinson and we haven't seen Jaden Worth tonight due to the ankle sprain. And by the way, for those of you that follow Aquinas and root for them, don't worry. Jaden Worth, we see him walking around. He's fine. This is just a precaution to give them a couple of extra weeks off. They have a bye week next week before they get into before they play Westside in 2 weeks.
Yeah, you don't want that lingering throughout the rest of the season.
No, let him get 100%. So here we go. They run the football again, and another.
That may be hit of the
That might be hit of the game.
My goodness.
Whoa. We have seen some hitting. This is the best, and you wouldn't think that coming in. This has been the most physical game we've seen. Watch this hit. They give it to Hayward, and Hayward is just level. That is the hit. That is the hit of the night. That might be the hit of the year so far. That was Kirsten Brinson lowering the boom on Logan Hayward. That is the hit of the night so far. I mean, and another good play. He gets the first down, I believe.
But he's got the first.
Aquinas trying to push him back, but Fitzgerald comes out with the football, but they're saying the play was blown dead. Gant is slow to get up, if he's going to get up. And he was the ball carrier there that did get the first down, but he took a shot.
He's going to stay in the game.
Yeah.
No, now he's going to come out.
So he'll have to come out. Let's see if they just direct snap it to Bird, or they bring in another quarterback. It is, the clock is running. We're at 6:35 to go in this one. Hephzibah needs a touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
Play clock's getting down. Got the snap off.
And here's Bird. Here he goes, head of steam. He's still on his feet. Bird across the 30, and he's down at about the 28. And Bird is approaching 200 yards now, well over 150. And now he's going to be down. I think it's a cramp. By the way he went down on the ground, I think it is a cramp. Yeah, it's a cramp. You can tell. And if anybody's going to have cramps tonight, it's probably going to be Bird. And there's some good sportsmanship there. The Aquinas personnel coming out to help him with the cramp.
And while they're working on him with the cramp, I want to sneak in a trivia question here.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
So we talked about James Leonard inching closer and closer to 100 wins.
Yep.
In that side. So, AB, what are the only 2 active CSRA Georgia coaches currently with over 100 career wins?
Oh, wow. That's a good one. Okay. And they CSRA coaches in Georgia with 100
career
okay,
wins.
Gotcha. All right.
They're currently active, yeah.
I'll have to think about that one. Let me get you got a pen over there, Nathan?
Yeah.
Let me take some notes over here.
I was proud of that one.
That's a good one. I think I know one. I'm going to have to think about the other one. That's one. Let's see. Yeah, I'll have to think about that one. That one's tough.
Yeah, so the crazy thing is Coach Leonard's approaching 100 wins in 12 seasons, which is
that's
incredible.
Pretty impressive.
Incredible, but he's only 377 more behind the great Larry Campbell with 477, the all-time Georgia State record. So that's so crazy impressive.
The 2 I'm thinking of are CSRA coaches, but they haven't been in the CSRA very long. Matter of fact, they're both from the CSRA, but they're both now back in the CSRA after coaching elsewhere for a long, long time. That's the 2 I've got in mind, and I'll have that whenever we get back to the trivia for the answer. That's a good question, though. And here is Gant. Gant across the – well, he's right at the 25, and they're going to say he just barely got past it to the nearly to the 24. Under 6 minutes to go. Aquinas on top, 22-14. They have ran the ball very well tonight with Franklin, but most notably with Christian Cates. Hephzibah has ran the ball effectively with Gant, and on their side, the number 1 guy has been Riante Bird, the sophomore tailback. Where's Bird? What's Bird up to yards-wise? Do you know? Riante Bird.
151.
150. I said well over 150, barely over 150, but still a good night. He came in averaging about 185, 190, somewhere in that neighborhood in 2 games. So he's well on his way to a 1,000-yard season as Aquinas gets a few substitutions in here. Well, this has been the most physical game we've seen. We talked about it. Man, some hits. There have been about 5 or 6 that could have easily been hit of the night.
Yeah, this is kind of a throwback to some of those Lincoln County, Washington Wilkes games we go watch.
Oh,
They were just straight hitting all night.
And Gant's going to keep this one, and he is going to be stopped after a short pickup. And now we're under 5 minutes. Hephzibah with the football. I tell you, Hephzibah, if the goal was to eat up clock and keep Aquinas' offense off the field, I mean, they've done that. The problem is it's been a tight game, and they've had a couple of miscues. The fumble was a big one. But they're on the move here. Bird's going to be the ball carrier, but he is going to be stopped short of the first down. So it's going to be 3rd down now. And let's see where they spot. It's going to be 3rd down and about 4. So 3rd down, and actually it's about 3rd and 5. Ball is at the 14. You're in 4-down territory. Oh, they might.
They got him.
They got him. Yeah, they got him. They drew Aquinas offsides, so that will give them the first down, or at least it's going to be really close. And they're marking it off. And that should be a first down.
Yep. 1st and goal from the 9.
First and goal to go for the Rebels. Down 8. They need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie this thing up.
I think this is just direct snap all the way, and maybe on the 2-point conversion too.
Oh, no. A bad snap.
Just got it back.
Bird almost made the mistake of trying to pick the ball up, but he does fall on it. And Riante Bird, there have been a couple of bad snaps, and he's not happy. He's played such a good game tonight, but the bad snap that time. So now it's going to be 2nd and goal from all the way back at the 18-yard line. Those kind of miscues are the difference in the game, and I know that's what Coach Daniel Dorsey is going to be preaching to his team coming out of this one if they're unable to get the win, that they had this game maybe in sight, and it was just some mental errors and some miscues that did them in. But there's still time, 3 minutes to go. Gant's going to throw it. He's got a man out in the flats. It's complete. Oh, and a great job breaking the tackle. The ball comes out at the end of the play. Aquinas says they have it, but the officials are saying no, he's down.
Wow, what an effort. I thought he was going to sneak through to the end zone.
Yeah, let's see who that was for Hephzibah.
Number 18.
It was number 18. That is Jesus Ascalara, a senior. That ball came out, but he looked like his knees were down. This is going to be 3rd and goal from the 9. Gant going to run it. Gant is going to get down to about the 6, so it's 4th down. 2 minutes and about 17 seconds and counting. And it's 4th down. What do you do here, Nathan? You got it. You need 6 yards. And their best player is not on the field. Yeah. So they're going to throw it. Let's see if they roll Gant out and give him an option to run or throw.
I may take me a timeout to see if I can get my best player back on the field.
Yeah, I would want Bird out there. And that might be what they're thinking.
Run it down and take a timeout. Maybe run the clock. No.
That was a high snap, but he gets it. Gant throws it. It's tipped. Oh. It was tipped at the line of scrimmage and almost caught.
Oh, my goodness.
That ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage and almost caught. Fitzgerald there again on the play defensively, covering the receiver, but somebody tipped it at the line.
It's one of the craziest plays I've ever seen. He was trying to throw a quick slant, and it ricocheted all the way to the back corner.
He was trying to throw to one receiver, and it was tipped and went further to a different receiver. That was a wild play. Fitzgerald was on the coverage. I'm not sure. Now, he blocked a kick earlier in the game, a field goal. I'm not sure who tipped that ball at the line of scrimmage. And like I said, I think it was Fitzgerald on the coverage.
Yeah,
that was almost a wild way for Hephzibah to score. Instead, Aquinas has the football with a chance to milk the clock and win this football game.
Hephzibah still got 3 timeouts here. They could force a punt.
So Franklin with the ball, and he's going to roll to his left and run it. Now you want to stay in bounds, and he does. Good job by Franklin there, falling down, making sure he stayed in bounds. And a Hephzibah player is down Con, but he gets up. So it's a first down. Once they set the chains, the clock will start running, and it is running again.
Got to use timeouts here, right?
Yeah, Aquinas is just happy to let this thing run. They've got about 18 seconds left on the play clock.
Yeah. I think he's saving it for after this play.
Yeah, and if you're Franklin, you don't want to snap it until there's at least less than 3 seconds. Let's see. And that's what he's doing. And they're going to hand it off to Cates. Cates is having a big night, and it continues, and he does a good job as well, not going to the outside, falling down in bounds. Christian Cates, we've had a couple of 100-yard backs tonight. Christian Cates for Aquinas and Riante Bird for Hephzibah. So the ball now at the 28, 45 seconds and counting. And no timeout being called.
Yeah, it's like Hephzibah's just kind of thrown in the towel here.
That is odd. They have timeouts left.
You never know what could happen, though. Fumble on a snap or
Franklin hands off again, and again it's Cates, and again Cates is just going to run and then fall down at about the 35, and that's going to do it. Now, I don't know that we need another play,
right? He finally
used
the timeout.
Yeah, they let a lot of time run off there.
All right, AB, let's get back to your trivia question answer. So Coach Leonard is closing in on 100 wins. We ask you in the CSRA on the Georgia side, who are the only 2 active coaches with 100 career wins currently?
Well, I'm going to go Lincoln County's Lee Homskis and Burke County's Franklin Stevens.
That would be correct.
Yes,
AB.
sir.
That would be correct. So
and of course, they're both relatively new to this area, back in this area.
Yeah, so Stevens has 170, and Hopkins has 139. So
Stevens won a couple of state titles.
Yeah.
He's been at Tucker and a few other places.
Yeah, and so a bonus one, we're going to Barnwell next week.
Yeah.
Coach Smith's the only one with over 100 in South Carolina that I could find.
Oh, wow. Brian Smith. Of course, he had some great teams at Strom Thurmond when he first started coaching.
Yeah, which shows you 100 wins is a pretty big milestone.
Oh, it's hard to do.
There's not a lot of coaches.
When you start seeing high school coaches with 250 and 300, that's the rarefied air. 100 is hard to get to. And here goes Cates again, and going to get up another 5 yards for him. And that's going to do it, folks. Well, no, hold on. They're going to stop it with 6.2 to go. So we're going to have at least one more snap.
I think it's
just to set the chain, so we might not have a snap.
Yeah.
Yeah, the clock's running. That's going to do it. Aquinas is going to improve to 2-1 on the season with a 22-14 victory, led by a ground attack tonight. Christian Cates with a spectacular night. The defense without Jaden Worth, guys like Harrison Fitzgerald, and also the freshman Eli Hutchinson stepping up. Good win for the Irish. And that Hephzibah team's not a bad football team.
Absolutely. That Hephzibah team gave them everything they wanted tonight. Fought them tooth and nail. Just made a couple of mistakes. You can't make on their side, and it ended up costing them the game. But
well, the miscues really hurt them tonight in a close ball game. But it was a fun game. Well played, a lot of hard hitting, physical game. But Aquinas does come away with the victory. Hephzibah drops to 1-2. Next week for Hephzibah, they've got the Westside Patriots, and Aquinas has a week off, and then they play Westside the following week.
Yep, it's going to be a tough matchup for both teams.
Yep. Don't go anywhere, folks. We still got to announce our McDonald's offensive and defensive players of the game, and we'll have that for you coming up momentarily. But we also are about to hopefully check in with one of the coaches. Let's see if James Leonard is a little bit happier now with how things ended up. And I got to figure out, we're going to take a break? Oh, no. Okay. I got to figure out who to send the offensive and defensive players of the game to. Maybe I can grab Scott Elledge, who was down there, our red cap tonight. All right, folks, so we're going to go down to the field with the victorious Coach James Leonard.
I'm here with Coach Leonard. Your team got out a huge win in a close game. How does this mean going forward?
We're not going to win many more if we play like that, I can tell you that.
Christian Case played a huge role in this game. What can you say to him?
Yeah, I mean, he stepped up. Offensive line played better at times. We got to make better decisions with the ball. Tackling was embarrassing. We got a long way to go.
What's going to be your message going into the bye week?
We're going to tackle each other for 2 hours a day, every day.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, I tell you what, we're going to let Micah know because we're having a hard time getting the transmission down on the field. Number 2 and number 14, Mike, grab number 2 and number 14 for our players of the game. And I apologize having to do it that way, but unable to get the message to go through. But good win, and boy, James Leonard, you can tell he was brought up around coaches. That is old school coach speak right there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, certainly want to give some credit to Hephzibah in the way they played tonight, but I think Coach Leonard is definitely a little frustrated because he knows his team can play better than that.
Yeah, for sure. And he's worried about what's going to happen down the road, not right now necessarily.
Correct.
They're able to escape. They're able to get the win, but he's got some things he wants to work on. We'll take a break, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll introduce you to our McDonald's offensive and defensive players of the game. And welcome back, everybody. We are at Aquinas where the Irish are victorious. Let's go down to the field. Mike O'Neill has a couple of happy Aquinas players.
I'm here with Christian Yates and Harrison Fitzgerald. Christian Case, I apologize. Christian, let's start with you. You had 160 yards and 1 touchdown. What can you say about the guys up front?
They just did their job, and I just had to do my job, find the right holes and find openings in the defense.
That's huge. Do you think the momentum from the second half will lead into the next game, even though it's a bye week?
Yeah, we still going to – I mean, we ain't play our best game. So next bye week, we finna go get at it.
Yes, sir. Your coach said the same. You said y'all tackling for 2 hours straight. I hope y'all ready. Ooh, I hope y'all are ready. And you guys came up with some huge stuff in the second half. What was the turning point for you and this defense?
I think the turning point was coming out in that second half, and we really put it away. We play for each other, play hard. We worked all week for this. 1-0 in the region. We're going to keep working.
And this was one of the most physical games I've seen at the high school level. Do you think that physicality led to this victory?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, every day in practice it translates to this. We worked hard for it all week, and I think it did translate to the victory.
All right, thank y'all so much. This is the offensive and defensive player of the week. Offensive right here, defensive right here. Thank you. Congratulations to y'all both. I hope y'all good luck for the rest of the season.
Appreciate it.
All right, thanks a lot, Mike, and congratulations to our offensive and defensive players of the game. Christian Cates, 166 yards and a TD, and Harrison Fitzgerald, several key tackles and that block kick that was very big in the second half on that long field goal from Hephzibah. So Harrison Fitzgerald, Christian Cates are players of the game, brought to you by McDonald's. And again, thanks to Mike O'Neill down on the sidelines. Bottom line, just a great performance by Cates. He was outstanding, and the line for Aquinas also.
Absolutely. Cates looked great. He definitely kind of put the team on his back there in the second half, was able to kind of really make some big runs there when he needed to. That kind of sparked that one drive in the second half. Well, only drive we had any scoring on. Both teams missed field goals in that second half. So really was the difference was him in his running.
Well, we also want to congratulate Riante Bird, the sophomore running back for Hephzibah, in a losing cause, over 150 yards rushing and a touchdown. The Rebels come up just short, 22-14 the final score. Aquinas getting the victory tonight here on Game Night Live. They start the region 1-0 with that big victory. And, again, there were a ton of great games tonight, so you don't want to miss Football Friday night. We also want to give you more from this game. We've got our Powerade play of the game and our hit of the game tonight here at Aquinas. So if we have those ready, guys, you want to knock those out. Let's, I guess, get to our hit of the game. And, Nathan, there were a ton to choose from.
You could have chosen one of about 10 on this.
And it's actually that one. Jim Franklin running the football, slammed to the ground, loses his helmet in the process. Like I said, there were about 5 to choose from. Kirsten Brinson had a monster one later in the game, but our our hit of the game. Now let's get to our Powerade play of the game. And again, there were a few to choose from here too. Let's see what we went with. No doubt. That was a big play in this game. The freshman, Turner Stevenson, hitting Zion Allen on the botch snap for a 2-point conversion that gave Aquinas the lead going into the locker room and made it 15-14. And no doubt, a heads-up play and a huge play for Aquinas in this game.
Yeah, made the difference in trailing all second half and being ahead in the second half. And it changes maybe just a little bit of the way you call and make decisions when you're going forward on fourth down.
What do you see for these two teams? I guess let's start with Hephzibah going forward the rest of the year. They've lost back-to-back games now, a close one to Laney, a close one to Aquinas, and they're playing a really good West Side team that plays some outstanding defense next week.
If we get the Hephzibah team we had in the first half that didn't make any mistakes, they don't have a lot of margin for error. If they are a very hard-hitting team, they're very good as long as they don't get behind the sticks and may have penalties or anything like that or turn the ball over. They're definitely going to be tough to beat each week, and I think they're going to make some noise in that region. They definitely should be right in there competing for a playoff spot.
Yeah, and the tough thing for them, too, their best players play on both sides of the ball, which makes it really difficult late in games. So, but I do like a lot of stuff I saw from Daniel Dorsey's team tonight and something they can build on. Let's flip the switch here. Let's look at Aquinas. They are now 2-1. They get off to a great start in the region. Now they have a week off. They get to see Hephzibah, who they've already played, and Westside play next week, and then they've got Westside the following week.
Yeah, I think you're definitely going to kind of, like Coach Leonard said, these next couple of weeks is going to be a lot of them working on themselves and focusing on getting better because I think he feels like he has that in this football team. It's there. He feels like they can play a whole lot better. I think we've seen Franklin play a whole lot better in some of the other games we've had. He was just a little off tonight.
Yeah, it was a little bit odd tonight,
I think
for
maybe
sure.
just kind of got off from the beginning and just never kind of got his footing in the game and never got his rhythm in the game. So definitely not. We're not going to see that the rest of the season from Jim Franklin. You're going to see him play great.
Well, we also have another group of people to thank for their hard work tonight. The teams, the coaches, the players and all that, but also the WJBF crew. Of course, doing a phenomenal job. Director Josh Recor, replay Thaddeus B. Michael Webb on graphics, Jeff Singleton on audio, Cameron Belcher on cameras. Also on the camera, you had Brianna Butler, Ketron Hugie, Gary Nipple on the field cam, the camera and floater, Rodrigo Burgos. Sideline, Ashley Sweet. The red cap tonight was our old buddy Scott Elledge. In the live truck, Ian McLeod. Master control, Jarrett Ledger. Production manager Lauren Fitzgerald and production timer Dominic Grizzafy. Please tell me I did not botch his name, but I think I did. Grizzafy. There we go. Got it. All right, guys. But they do such a great job each week making us look good, and we really appreciate all their hard work. They come out here and spend really the entire day out here setting everything up, getting it ready for high school football to bring you the coverage. So thanks to them for all their hard work. And we're going to be back at you with another one next week. The good games just keep on coming, right, Nathan?
Absolutely. So. We'll be out in Barnwell.
Yep.
Next week. Make the kind of the drive out there. Always a fun place to go to. They love their football out there.
They do. And Brian Smith's one of my favorite coaches to chat with. And they got a quarterback named Cam Austin that is committed to play baseball at South Carolina. Heck of a player. All right, that's going to do it tonight. Aquinas victorious. Game Night Live 22-14. For Nathan Edwards and Mike O'Neill down on the field, I'm Ashley Brown. Have a great night, everybody.